I'm Steve Vest. I am the user experience architect at Small Footprint. Our job in design operations is being able to make sure that we have the people, the tools, the processes in place to service our clients to maximize design across the production schedule. That's how I describe it when you ask me. And I hope you heard that people, which means communications, and processes and tools. We're going to talk about processes and tools today. So just real quickly, do a quick survey. Want to find out why some of you are here. How many of you are designers or design leaders in your organization? Okay, good. We got some creative folks in here. How many of you are the techie folks who are just curious to know what these people who raised their hands are doing? Any of you? Okay. So today we're going to look at 5 design processes, at least 5 that we engage in. Prototyping, feedback, iterating, usability testing, and I threw in this last one just a generic process of conversation, because that seems to happen a lot. As a matter of fact, we want that to happen a lot. Remember that there are 2 key components, he's mentioned them both, for design operations to work effectively. One is we are responsible as leaders in our organization of using DesignOps to make sure that we break down the walls like he showed, no more silos. We've got to take down the walls. We've actually done that physically in some of our facilities. We've removed walls and we've moved people into spaces. We have designers sitting right next to developers. And yet just yesterday, that paid dividends on a large project that we're working on right now. The developer noticed something, nudged the designer and said, "Where did this come from?" The designer started investigating and found out that we had an inconsistency throughout the application, and the developer discovered it. The designer fixed it, and it probably wouldn't have happened if they hadn't had that, that collaborative environment. And then the format we're going to use today is we'll show you a process, which right now we're talking about prototyping. Then we'll identify some pain points, and then hopefully look at some hacks that might help you work through some of the pain. So when we're prototyping, there are different types of prototypes. If you take a look at the bottom left, I consider when we're storyboarding, I consider that the very first stage of prototyping, because when we're doing this, we're looking at the user in context. We're trying to draw little cartoons of how the application that we're trying to build might work. We're also actually hinting at maybe what some of the user interfaces would be as the customer's trying to get through some problem. So this is basically a situation where I'm identifying a problem, just working through a cartoon that describes what we're trying to do. If you haven't done that exercise, I encourage you to do so. And you don't have to be, if you saw that blown up where you could actually see it, it looks much better small. Planning in column 1 and putting something in the column for in progress. You could use this to organize some things and align it with the way you use your project management software. I also like you can put deadlines on it and it'll turn colors. It also has the ability to have attachments and some notifications and strings of comments. It also lets you change the desktop background, which is nice. We picked mountains for this one. Small Footprint's version of Slack, we're using this for for external conversations right now. For instance, yesterday I needed Amy to create a blog for me that talked a little bit about this so that we can have a place to have conversations after this meeting. And I used Slack to do it. I was able to do that. If I ever need to find it again, the searchability of this is just super. I love the search in Slack. So that's kind of our pitch. We're basically saying with design operations, if you're thinking about the big picture, the strategy and the production, you can get the boat to go off the screen and have more people there were more people in the second boat than in the first, and they still were pointed in the same direction. So with that in mind, I think, yes, we would love to hear stories that you may have. I saw a lot of people nodding heads. Are there questions, comments, or just somebody want to share their challenges with organizing design within your organization? Anybody want to share?